Welcome back to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. Before you guys get too comfortable, make sure you smash that like button and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel for more content. And on top of that, make sure you guys comment below your opinions and make sure you share the content as well. Now, I want to talk to you guys about a rookie that I'm really excited to see. I've covered other rookies as well, like Antwaun Powell-Ryland out of Virginia Tech, Jihaad Campbell out of Alabama, Andrew McCuba out of Texas. But I really want to talk about this guy, Ty Robinson out of Nebraska. This guy spent his entire 6-year college career at one place in Nebraska. At this point, it's really rare to see guys stay at one school, especially if they're taking some time to develop. You see guys transfer if they feel like they're not getting a fair shake where they are. But Ty Robinson spent his entire 6-year college career at Nebraska from 2019 to 2024 in the Big Ten. And his most productive season didn't even come until the 2024 season, his final season at Nebraska. And when you look at the stat sheet, you don't really see nothing that really pops off when it comes to Ty Robinson. But before I really get too far into that, I really want to dog walk this thing. Ty Robinson was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the 4th round, 111th overall. And the Philadelphia Eagles saw something in him. They saw a guy that was extremely versatile, a guy that can play from 0 to 5 technique, and they saw a guy that brought a lot of size to the position. I believe Ty Robinson is 6'6", 300 pounds, something like that. So he's a really tall dude. And again, his best season in college didn't come into the 2024 season, his 6th season, where he played in 13 games, had 37 total tackles, 21 solo tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, 4 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. And again, when you look at the stat sheet, his entire career at Nebraska, it's really not that impressive. His entire career at Nebraska, 60 games total, 134 total tackles, 60 solo, 27 TFLs, 12 total sacks, 12 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble. His entire college career was a slow burn until having that one breakout season in 2024. And he's just been developing little by little over time. And one thing I think the Eagles noticed about Ty Robinson is that he was a guy that had impact beyond the stat sheet. And I think that kind of reminds me of Jordan Davis a little bit. And we're going to talk about Jordan Davis later on in this video. But Ty Robinson's impact went far beyond the stat sheet. As a matter of fact, he was the anchor. He was the leader on that defensive line at Nebraska. And they put up their best run defense season since joining the Big Ten in 2011. They held teams to an average of 92.9 yards per game on the ground. That's really impressive. He's made himself out to be a legitimate run stuffer. He brings a lot of size to the position at 6'6", nearly eclipsing 300 pounds. He has a skill set that's very interesting, but he also has things he needs to work on. He's extremely versatile, being able to play 0 to 5 technique, meaning he can play all the way from the nose tackle position all the way to the outside shoulder of the defensive end, even the outside shoulder of the guard. So again, 0 tech, 1 tech, 3 tech, 5 tech. He can do everything you need him to do on the defensive line, despite having some limitations to his game. But again, I want to focus on his strengths. Versatile, extremely violent and powerful, has a high motor. He never gives up on the play. And he has valuable experience. He's seen it all. Playing 60 games in college, he hardly gets fooled by anything by playing so many games. And he has extreme gap discipline, which goes to why he's so good at defending the run and why Nebraska had one of their best rush defenses since 2011. So this guy is disciplined. This guy plays smart. This guy plays with mean intentions. He's physical. He's violent at the point of attack. He has a devastating bull rush. But when it comes to challenges to his game, the height, because he's 6'6", that can be seen as a struggle, mainly because it'll be difficult maintaining your pad level being that tall. So his biggest challenge in the NFL was going to be maintaining his pad level on a consistent basis, being 6'6". And then on top of that, some people believe he can rely too much on power. Granted, that raw power, that raw strength is an asset, but he has to develop a deeper repertoire of counter moves. He has to develop a more extensive, a more robust pass rush plan when the power moves, when the bull rush isn't working. But again, I think Ty Robinson is a prospect that you would love to have on your football team. I really like where he fits on this team as well. When you think about the Eagles' defensive line right now, in particular that defensive tackle position, you think about Jalen Carter, right? Jalen Carter has been the most dominant force on that defensive line over the past 2 seasons. And I expect Jalen Carter to continue that going into his 3rd season. He's coming off of an all-pro season, coming off of one of the most dominant playoff runs we've seen from a defensive lineman in recent history by the Philadelphia Eagles. You might have to rival it with the Hassan Reddick run being dominant, and even Nolan Smith had a pretty dominant run as well. But at the defensive tackle position, I mean, Jalen Carter has really proven that he is the future. He's the now, and he's going to be a wrecking ball for the Philadelphia Eagles for the foreseeable future. And he's going to be a $40 million man. That's the way I see it for him. And then you get the Jordan Davis, who's an elite run stopper. Jordan Davis just had his 5th-year option picked up. So his 2025 and 2026 contracts are guaranteed. But what's his future beyond 2026? Will the Philadelphia Eagles offer Jordan Davis a long-term deal beyond that? It all remains to be seen. But Jordan Davis does have a skill set that you like. He brings a ton of size, a ton of athleticism to that interior. And again, he's an elite run stuffer. The Eagles are that much better on defense. The Eagles are that much better on run defense when Jordan Davis is in the building. But he's an early down player, hasn't really proven that he can play high snap counts in a game, and hasn't really proven that he could be a player beyond 1st and 2nd down. But again, Jordan Davis is still an asset. His skill set, what he brings to the table, is extremely valuable for the Philadelphia Eagles. And he's somebody you want on your football team. And if you can retain him for a reasonable price, I think the Philadelphia Eagles will make that happen. And then we get the Moro Jumbo. Now, this is interesting because the Philadelphia Eagles lost Milton Williams in the offseason. Milton Williams signed a very lucrative deal with the New England Patriots, and you can't blame him for taking that money, right? He earned it. He balled out in the playoffs. He balled out in the Super Bowl. He balled out all year long in a rotational role behind Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. But Milton Williams is gone, and Moro Jumbo has to take that next step. Moro was entering year 3 like Jalen Carter. They were a part of the same draft class. And Moro Jumbo came from the University of Texas. He's an interesting player because he kind of reminds me of Milton Williams in terms of just the archetype, the frame, the way they play. Milton Williams has the ability to rush the pass, so he can stop the run. He's a smart player, and he's getting better and better every single season. And you saw how better he got this past season, and you saw the impact he made in various spot snaps covering for Jalen Carter. But Moro Jumbo is a guy that you expect to fill in for that loss in Milton Williams. I think Moro Jumbo is going to have a really strong season this year, but what's his long-term future in Philadelphia? That remains to be seen as well. But as of right now, entering year 3, I think he takes that next step, and I'm really excited about that. Then you got depth pieces like Thomas Booker IV, Byron Young, Gabe Hall. These are all guys that aren't really dominant in any respect, don't really have 1 or 2 things that they're great at, but they're pretty solid depth pieces, and they're smart players, and they've shown growth as well. I think the most interesting guy out of those 3 guys I mentioned is probably Byron Young, because Byron Young was a draft pick for the Raiders, and he's only played 1 season for them. And the Raiders decided to trade him in the 2024 offseason. The Philadelphia Eagles decided to take that deal, and they didn't play him at all last year. Granted, they had a lot of depth at that defensive tackle spot, but the Philadelphia Eagles didn't decide to play Byron Young at all. And on top of that, they didn't even put him on a practice squad, meaning they didn't want him being picked up by any other team. They see value in the player. They see some kind of traits that they like in the player. So maybe Byron Young takes a step forward. Can Byron Young leap Thomas Booker IV? Who knows? Maybe Byron Young leaps Moro Jumbo. I'm not trying to say Moro Jumbo isn't going to have a fair shake at this thing, but all I'm trying to say is Byron Young is a guy that the Eagles clearly value because they didn't allow him to go to the practice squad last year. He was an active player on the roster, and it'll be interesting to see what that Alabama product and Byron Young can do when he gets an opportunity. But I think Moro Jumbo will be that number 3 defensive tackle. I think Ty Robinson is going to be that number 4 defensive tackle, rotating with Jordan Davis, rotating with Jalen Carter, Moro Jumbo, guys like that. Again, Ty Robinson has versatility up and across that defensive line. Can play 0 tech, 1 technique, 3 technique, 5 technique, can play 2-eye, can play 4-eye. He can do whatever you need him to do, and he has extensive experience on the defensive line, playing 60 college games at Nebraska, and he was a part of one of the strongest run defenses in the Big Ten. So you got to give Ty Robinson credit where credit is due, and you got to be able to see that he can make an impact on his team, especially on early downs, and you'll probably see Moro Jumbo and Jalen Carter dominating on 3rd down. But Ty Robinson did have 7 sacks in 2024. So Ty Robinson does bring some pass rush skills to the fold. He does have a legit bull rush, but he is going to have to increase his pass rush plan. He is going to have to get deeper into his bag of tricks when it comes to the NFL level. He has shown steady progression. He has proven that he can develop over time. we'll see what that amounts to. I really believe that Ty Robinson is going to be a guy that's going to be a high impact player for the Eagles. And he's going to be a guy that you see playing early and often, first down, second down. He may relieve Jordan Davis at times. He may relieve Jalen Carter at times. But regardless, though, that's all I have on Ty Robinson. I think he's going to be a really strong player for the Philadelphia Eagles. I love the size. I love his measurables. He plays with a ton of ferociousness. He's violent. He's powerful. He has some speed as well. Can be a little stiff, but he's a guy that's really smart, plays the game with intelligence, plays the game with mean intentions, and I think that's the kind of guy you want on your football team. So let me know what you guys think about Ty Robinson. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys comment below. Do you guys feel like Ty Robinson is going to be a player? Where do you think Ty Robinson is going to fall in his rotation? Will he be the third defensive tackle? Will he be the fourth behind Moro Jumbo? Let me know what you guys feel about Ty Robinson, and I really can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Smash that like button. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II, and you guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game, and I am your Philadelphia Eagles news source.